Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Night video for July 23rd, 2018. And we're talking Google. Google just reported better than expected earnings. The Wall Street consensus was about 9.51 cents a share, and then the reported earnings just came out at 11.75. And you're seeing maybe the bullish expected outcome, which is a gap, a big place. We will have to address this on Tuesday. And we'll take a look not just at Google, but Netflix, which also beat earnings, but the stock went the other way, Microsoft, and then 4 other tech names coming up in the future this week and beyond. We'll start with Google. On the right, we have our daily chart. That has a little pivot point at 1,200 per share. That's a spot we've been watching. 1,220 has been the recent high, but as you can see on this 4-hour chart with overnight data, we'll be starting tomorrow's session if this holds above 1260. So that's way off the chart here. This uptrend continues, higher highs, higher lows, and this surprise bullish breakout. That'll, of course, play into our decisions into the equity market, being the Nasdaq, especially for Tuesday's session. So that's going to be the guiding force for tomorrow's market. Stepping back in time, Netflix went the other way. That was last Monday, the 16th. The reported estimate was about 80 cents per share, and they reported 85 cents. Netflix reminds us that when a stock beats earnings, sometimes the future forecast or future earnings or what's said in the conference call can send the stock lower. So Netflix is having the exact opposite of what's happening with Google, that it traded rapidly down away from 420, 400. That's our spot marker reference point. And Netflix gapped down to 340 and is pushing back toward. So even though it continues the uptrend, it had a steeper than expected pullback. Still, if we extend these trend lines, we can see that there are support bounce potential off of 360. So however you're trading this with options or straight out intraday trades, watch Netflix at this 355, 360 critical daily and intraday pivot level. Microsoft reported on Thursday, and it had $1.08. It reported $1.13, and this stock went higher. So we can see Microsoft jumped up, not a whole lot, did the pullback, and has continued trading higher. So that's Microsoft. In the context of Google, again, might look for a little pullback, but watch your intraday reference levels, 1260, and however this shakes out in the morning. And of course, how this plays into the Nasdaq opening session on Tuesday. We will also be planning, right? We always talk about what to do with spread strangles or how the market options are pricing in volatility for expected movement. We can take a look at these for the future. So Google, Microsoft, Netflix, they're all done. But Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, and Apple, they're coming up. So the next one up is Facebook. That's going to report on Wednesday, the 25th. We still have it in this rising trend line channel. We can extend this out a little bit further. So 200 is a channel low, and roughly we can extend this further. Just shy of 215 is the channel high. And even zoom this in here to see how this pattern plays out. So into resistance, but we do have earnings coming out on Wednesday. So it'll be a Facebook to play or to stand aside from if you're not akin to playing earnings positions. That's going to be the next thing to report. Its pivot is roughly 210 per share, and again within this rising trend line channel. So logic would say a pullback is favored, but if these earnings keep surprising, notice that the ones so far, at least the names we're looking at, have all beat to the upside, albeit small, but have gotten responses in the stock overnight. Amazon is going to report on Thursday the 26th, coming up soon. Its pivot is going to be 1800. That's on the 4-hour chart, but also the daily chart, which is a prior high. So whatever your trade position for a breakout or for continuity, whatever your play in Amazon is, 1800 will be your key pivot spot. And also this at least 1770 is the prior high or spike reversal. 2 points to watch on the chart, but keep referencing your options volatility chains and your expected move grid for these earnings to come out in Amazon. Next up will be Twitter. Might not be a stock a lot of us trade, but it will be good to watch what happens next because this pattern is a triangle, even a descending triangle. So it is also in a trading range. This again is Twitter. It's going to report on Friday the 27th. 17 cents is the Wall Street consensus as of right now. So this is going to be a pivot play off of 43 or a breakout play beyond 45. And again, watch this stock, even if you don't trade it, for open air pockets or rapid movement lower if under 41.50, 42 per share. Otherwise, above 48 is a longer term breakout. And finally, Apple. Apple's been a little bit range bound at the highs. It's going to report on Tuesday, July 31st. Wall Street consensus is about 2.19 for the earnings on Apple. Watching it again into these rising trend lines. Stepping back, you can see these go back even further. So 195 upper resistance target. If above that, this thing can extend even further, but a lot of downside potential if this breaks lower beneath 190 and even 182. So your option levels, spot levels, marker levels, any type of swing or short-term trades should be taken within this context. If you do earnings positions, these are levels to watch, but these earnings surprises are going to overrule the charts, so be careful. If you're about to put a trade on, these stocks will be reporting, and sometimes earnings plays can sneak up on you, and you'll put on a bullish position, and next thing you know, the stock is down 5, 6, 7%. It's true for all stocks, but we're focusing on technology this week, specifically what's happened already in Netflix, Microsoft, what's happening right now into Tuesday on Google, and then what's going to happen in the future on Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, and Apple. Be safe, know the levels, know what your plan is. Don't get trapped up in a deer in the headlights surprise event or surprise outcome, and know how you'll react when these stocks report. It could be a surprise in how these earnings play out. Be safe, be careful. This is Corey Rosenblum with your Theo Nightly video for July 23rd, 2018.